Hi guys, James here, and welcome back to the Gamefree YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to give you a practical, step-by-step guide on how you can stop wasting time on Twitch and YouTube after you stop gaming. And just a reminder before we get into the video, I do have some spaces available in the Gamefree program, so if you're interested in one-to-one coaching and really taking your life to the next level, book a free discovery call and see about taking those next steps. So, YouTube, Twitch, why are they such a problem when we stop playing video games? Well, for a lot of people, when they quit, they find themselves not knowing what to do, and they mindlessly browse YouTube and Twitch, just waste time scrolling maybe Reddit, social media, whatever it is, on one monitor, and have a Twitch video open on the other. And a lot of the reason for this is partly because they don't understand enough about addiction and recovery, partly because they don't have enough to do, enough responsibility, and it's also partly because they lack the discipline to prioritize and execute on things they need to be doing. So when you play video games for a long period of time, your brain has been hardwired to respond very well to that dopamine release that you get from video games. And over time, basically you get burnt out, your dopamine receptors get fried from overstimulation, and you no longer are able to discern what's good for you, what's healthy versus what is just easy and rewarding to do. Video games is very easy, very stimulating, and kind of takes precedent over every other activity. And when you stop playing, there's a void that's left in your life. You suddenly have a lot of free time, you no longer have pleasure in other activities, like doing photography or doing work or study or something becomes very boring, very arduous, because you're so used to the level of dopamine and reward that you get from playing video games. And so you kind of fall into this void. And the reason why this happens is because when you stop playing, normally, you just kind of detox and quit playing video games and rely on moderation, rely on willpower. You're not building a solid foundation from which to put the other aspects of your life onto. And one of these things, one of these pillars, is being productive. And one of the things that I like to do with people is get them to lead from a values first perspective. And what this means is figuring out what it is you want to do with your life, figuring out who it is you want to become, and then basing every decision you make off of these core values. For example, if freedom, family, all these different things are important to you, what are the steps you need to take to get there? And I'll put a link to a video explaining this in much more detail. And secondly, when people quit, they don't really have enough to do. Suddenly they've got hours of free time with nothing to fill it with. If you don't have a job or you're not studying and you're not doing things to fill this time, it's going to be much easier for you to just fall back into what's comfortable, which is, well, it could be gaming, it could be YouTube, whatever it is, that's what you're going to do if you allow that to happen. But obviously all of this kind of falls through if you don't have the discipline in the first place. And a lot of gaming addicts just flat out do not have it. We have been so accustomed to overcoming any challenges with ease. Like, video games aren't difficult, really. With enough time you can accomplish anything in a game, and you can make a lot of progress. You can accomplish a lot of things with very little effort, which is not like the real world. And when you encounter difficulties for the first time, you're just going to crumble. You're just going to fall in on yourself. You're not going to know what to do. And when it comes to making hard choices, making deadlines, whatever it might be, showing up for work every day, day in, day out, it is going to be very hard for you to do. That being said, what exactly can you do about all this to stop wasting time on YouTube? So the first thing that you're going to do when you want to try and stop wasting time on YouTube and Twitch is to figure out exactly what you're doing it in the first place. What are you avoiding? What responsibilities? What feeling are you trying to get from doing this thing? And what kind of needs are you trying to fulfill by engaging in this activity in the first place? So I'll use myself as an example. For me, I always had difficulty overcoming challenging things. I never built the discipline growing up because I was playing so many video games And as I mentioned earlier, it's just a recipe for disaster. So whenever I encountered problems or responsibilities, I almost engaged in like a safety mechanism. It's like a defense against these things. And I would play video games to escape and avoid all of these responsibilities. When I stopped playing, I would just go to YouTube and Twitch for exactly the same reason. I would spend hours and hours watching VODs and streams and whatever else because I was trying to escape from these problems instead of dealing with them head on. In your case, maybe you're doing it for the social aspect. You feel like you're a part of these YouTubers' lives or these streamers' lives. Some of you might be doing it just to waste time because you have nothing else to do and you're bored. Whatever your reason is, try and figure that out and really get to the bottom of it. Try and do a lot of work figuring this out because it's going to be very important later on. Because the next thing you need to do is figure out what the exact effect this is having on you in your day-to-day life. Make a list of all the benefits and all the negatives that are coming about as a result of you wasting time. One of the arguments I used to make for myself to watch YouTube all the day was that I was getting something out of it. It was educational, beneficial in some way. But in reality, even if I was subscribed to a load of YouTube channels that were kind of productive, maybe about business or hiking or something like that, or photography, all I would do is just end up on the other channels anyway, watching gaming videos over and over again. And the same pattern repeated itself time and time again. Whereas if I look at the negatives, and I think that they're getting in the way of everything, they're making me slack on my responsibilities. They are making me tired because I watch them in bed. They're stopping me from going outside because I'm so focused on that instead of being passionate about getting out there, meeting people, being social. And basically, they are getting in the way of me accomplishing everything I could ever want in life. Every goal I have is just being put to the side completely because I'm wasting time on YouTube and Twitch. Once you realize and fully internalize that there are no benefits, only negatives to you watching YouTube, then you can move on to the next step and really start trying to take control of it once and for all. Because the next thing you need to do is something else. I could have made a 30-second video on this and just told you, if you want to stop watching YouTube, stop. It is as simple as that, really. And this is something that people realize with video games when they go through the Gamefree program, is that all along, all they had to do was stop playing. Simply stop. You're in control of everything in your life. You have choice over how you feel, how you act, your day-to-day routines. What we do is make excuses all the time as to why we can't do something or why something is more difficult. Like, oh, I can't stop because I'm addicted to it and I just keep scrolling. Okay, well, stop. Stop going on the page. Obviously, in reality, it's more difficult than this, but at a very base level, it is that simple. Seriously, it is that simple. If you want control of your time and you want to stop wasting time, just stop doing it. But there are ways that you can make this easier on yourself. And one of the things I like to do, and one of the things that's tried and tested and it's true in addiction, is to make it as hard as possible for you to get back into the activity. And a great way of doing this is installing like blockers. One of my favorites is Freedom, and there's a link below in the description for you to download that. It is an affiliate link, but it comes at no cost to you, just helps support Gamefree and everything I do. There's a great extension called Distraction Free YouTube, which again, it's a free extension. I'll put a link to that below. No affiliate program there, it's free. This gets rid of everything. Gets rid of the trending tab, gets rid of recommendations, gets rid of comments, related videos, autoplay. Everything you might need from a YouTube extension, it's got it, and completely changed the way that I browse. On your phone, if you're still set on watching YouTube videos, install an application if you're on Android like NewPipe, which is a third-party program. It's got no recommended videos, it's no tailored trending tab, there's nothing, it's super simple, no ads, and it's so easy for you to just use this and not get sucked into like YouTube Shorts, which are just a disgusting waste of time and so easy to fall into that trap. And then also set up accountability with someone. Every morning, check in with a partner or a friend and tell them you're going to get X and Y done today. I'm not going to watch YouTube. Send them your, what's it called, the well-being app on your phone or your computer. Send them how much time you spent on YouTube every day, and put a negative aspect in place if you fail. So if I go on YouTube today and waste this much time, I'm going to pay you X amount of money, and make it an amount of money that's really difficult for you to lose, like a couple £100 or even 1,000 for some people. Like, make it so easy for you not to do it, if that makes sense. Put as many barriers up as you can, so that going back to doing this activity is really hard. Because while you can use all the willpower and whatever else that you want, there are going to be times when you open up the tab, and just having an extra step there to stop you, an extra reminder, is going to go a long way in preventing you from doing that. And of course, if you've got all this free time to work on the things you want to do, over time you'll start to see these benefits. You'll be healthier, happier, you'll get more done, have more money, better relationships, and it's going to be easier and easier for you to avoid going back on YouTube and Twitch. You're no longer going to need these blockers in place. You don't need the accountability. Once you adjust to this new life, it becomes a lot easier not to go back to your old one. So as long as you have stuff to do, like job, studying, places you got to be, then fill your time with that. Put these blockers in place. Figure out why you're doing it in the first place, and make a list of all the positives and negatives. And you'll be well on your way to not just getting YouTube and Twitch out of your life, but having a way better life, way better quality of life, being more productive in every aspect that you can think of. Now, I hope this video has been helpful for you. If it has, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.